one of the things that I have actually noticed, which sometimes make me feel like weeping or crying, was when I realized how easy it is now to put together a business idea or start a business. We went through it the hard way. I remember those times there were things that man ought to develop. In fact, it was the fancy thing that you have. The only thing you have was the technical skills, and you have to consult people who have started business before. You go for, you book appointments, go and meet them, have long talk, and sometimes you come back and you see that no, you are going to do an academic works, and these things are not actually going to favor you. So you pack them somewhere and you still start grinding. My dream was to have a business plan. It was one of the most difficult parts. I got some templates online, and I was able to put some thoughts together. I couldn't follow it to the teeth. I couldn't, because it wasn't that complete, and I wouldn't even have been able to follow through very well, or even prepare it very well. I realized at some point I needed somebody in finance or somebody with finance background, so that the person will do the proper cash flow projections for me. And it was very difficult. I didn't have the money at that point. So we left the rest to fate and prayed and hoped that we'll be able to get those things done. I wish I had a lot of expert advice. And the lack of it also made me a different person. Today, I will try so much not to concentrate on myself, but make it as general as possible, and give you what I think one one can do now, or some of the things that we did previously, which you don't have to repeat. Or if even you want to repeat them, you will do that with caution, and this will save you a lot. It took us a lot of time, many years, to get to the ground level from the pit when we started. And if I'm to start the whole thing now again, I'm not sure it will take me more than a week to get to, or to do things which took me over 10 years to do. I started full-time, going out full-time to start a full-time business about 16 years ago, almost 17, but let's say 16 years ago, where we formed our first company, ABC Royale. So Cab Royale, CAB Royale was initially ABC Royale. Okay, so we had to rebrand and change it over time around 2016, and also change the mission a bit. Through all these periods, we were not that trained as business people. What we had was technical skills. So today we are going to see how we can unlock the power of prompt engineering for founders. If you're a business, if you're a startup founder, or you have a business idea and you want to develop it, I want to give you the shortcuts. Okay, all the things that I learned all these periods. Okay, but even not sharing those ones so much, because they are now manual process. Okay, it would have been very wonderful experience, but I'm going to show you how you can use AI to do all those things that I did, so that if you want to reach out and build your organization or build a company, I want to save you a lot of the time. People are afraid that AI is going to take a lot of job away. So you and I, it's our responsibility to make sure we set up more companies, not just for the sake of the setting up of the companies, but also, let's say, help the society, because almost all organizations, one way or the other, are providing some service to the society. So the services that are not being rendered now are opportunity for new businesses, because every business is actually solving a problem or a challenge, or the gap that is found in the industry. Okay, so that is it. So if you can spot a challenge in the industry, or let's say in society, and the problem is big enough, then you are on your way to having a very big business. The bigger the problem, the bigger the potential that you're going to have in it. And I know my people too. If I say my people, those in architecture, engineering, the construction industry, a lot of people have businesses in their boot. A lot of engineers have registered construction companies. It is down there in their boot. I know of that. A lot of people too have registered companies, but they don't run it like it's not functional. Okay. We are going to see if you can actually put some kind of energy back into it whilst you go about your normal stuff. There are some things that AI will not be able to do. Those ones, when we get there, we'll talk about that. But now I'm going to help you discover how artificial intelligence can become your virtual co-founder, how it can help you accelerate your journey from concept to successful business launch. So now AI is actually your new co-founder. So we have founders and we have co-founders. Sometimes the co-founders you get when you want to set up a company, sometimes you can go solo, but you get co-founders when you want support. And the support could be technical support or administrative support, or let's say those that will come in with their sweat. Some people will come in with sweat equity, not with physical cash given to you, but they will also give you the rest of their time, which they could have traded it for money in terms of working for someone else. Okay. But this time on, they will bring in all those energy into it for a stake in the organization. So you can have, so if let's say I'm a technical person, I'm a civil engineer, I'm a software developer, and I want to launch a business idea. I have several options. What I can say is that, okay, so I've developed my system and I'm going all out for it. My business will be one-sided because I'll only be talking about the technical side and not about the business side, which the business actually needs. So you are tempted to get a co-founder. One of the mistakes we do is actually looking within people with the same strength and energy as us. So a civil engineer, then you get another civil engineer and say, oh, I mean, you're my classmate. So let's kind of set up a business. Let's form a company. And because you are both, let's say, because your co-founder is also a technical person and you are also a technical person, usually most of such businesses do not last. If not, then you have to bring in people to run the business part of it for you. I mean, the administrative part for you. So it is actually complex. It doesn't have one formula. Business is not 1 + 1 is equal to 2. Sometimes you can be running it wrongly, but be in a very conducive environment and you'll be fine. Okay, things will be fine until reality starts setting in, and then you start facing the reality, and then there you know that the ground you are on is actually a quicksand and not a solid rock on which you can stand. So we are going to see how AI can help you at this stage, because you see, one of the mistakes we do is that we reach out to people, as I said earlier, people with the same skills as us, and then because we're all classmates and we sat in the same class, we said, oh, okay, now when we are talking about equity in the organization, all we will say is that, oh, Charlie, you take 50%, let me take 50%, and your business becomes dead on arrival. You are the only person, the one that came with the idea. In fact, you can even have co-founders who do not have their entire heart in it. They have one of their legs outside because they don't truly believe in what you're doing, but because you are their friend, they want to give you a very I mean, some smiles on your face, but they still have their feet somewhere. Okay. And if I'm having if let's say I'm a civil engineer and I've also engaged an architect or let's another civil engineer to set up a construction company, and I came up with the idea and I got my friend, my mate. Sometimes what will be happening is that he'll be giving me the indication that he is with me. When he gets engineering job, he'll be doing it on the side whilst he sits in mine. See, so there's that dishonesty part. And sometimes because I came up with the idea and I just want to play fair, when the business hasn't matured or even has been properly set up, then you start sharing, let's say, shares or equity. And that kills the businesses most of the time on arrival. So we are going to look at how, if you don't have the money and the resources, how do you deploy AI to fill in the gaps for you? Okay, so that is actually what we're going to look at. So we're going to look at the path from the idea to impact. It has actually never been faster or more accessible than it is today. Okay, and I always poke this joke. My friends, I tell them now it is easier to do a lot of these things. Before, entrepreneurship or startup businesses or small businesses were more like the training school. You don't have money, so you are able to get people fresh from school, and they too, they don't have a lot of experience, so you have to train them. So you take up your pain, you train them. So you are training them so that they will fit. They will fit in, because you haven't grown enough. You don't have the financial muscle. By the time you finish training them, they are also. They also have one of their feet outside, looking for greener pasture or a place that they can also get comfort in terms of remuneration. So your small business becomes a training center. You train people for 6 months, they find a new job, they run away, and you see that you'll be left alone. So you are always training people until you develop the muscle to have money to keep the people or hire people who have the experience, so you can take off some of your pressure on them so that they can also support. That actually becomes one of the difficult things. This session will provide you with both inspiration and practical strategy, culminating in live demonstration of these principles in action. We will see if we'll be able to set up a business from scratch within about 15 minutes. That will be at the practical demonstration. And I can take any business. The principle that we are going to apply is the same principle that can apply to any business, because every business is the same. If I say it's the same, it's not like the processes. What I mean is there are some key structures or systems that are the same. If I'm running an e-commerce business, most of the strategies I'll put in place will be the same if I am also doing real estate. And you find the details in there like that, because there are structures you need to put in place, operational processes, which are already, which is the same everywhere. You have marketing strategy, like marketing systems you need to put in place, which are the same. You need to have revenue. So then you have to develop sales systems, which are also the same. You need to have the management part, which is also the same. And you need to have the financial systems that will also check your cash flow side also for you. So it is the same, just that the functions vary with the business. So today we are going to look at some of these practical strategies, and then we go through. So our agenda today will be a startup challenge in Ghana, where we will understand the local context. We're also going to look at why businesses fail, the data behind the startup failures. We're also going to look at finding your startup idea. Okay, if you're using AI, then that becomes very easy. Okay, you don't have to dream so much and have visions and have calling to start. To get an idea. With AI, you can put together a lot of ideas together. Okay, we're also going to look at how you can research, and also we're also going to look at the part where you try to understand your market, where you do your market research or customer profiling. Okay, we'll see if time will permit us to do all those stuff. And then we also look at building a lean MVP, that's viable, minimum viable product. Okay, so that is also very important. If you are a tech company and you are actually developing a software, you don't wake up with the idea and develop the full structure, put in all your professional hours, develop the software, finish before you start taking it to the market. What if the market rejects it? Then you would have wasted all your profitable professional hours. So you can actually build the minimum structure or part of it, the minimum form, let's say the skeletal form, the most simplest form of your product, and then you test the market and you see how how it will go, and then when it is accepted, you can come back and complete it very well. This is one of the best strategies that a lot of businesses in the US and UK they are, that they are developing. I know some people who will, I know entrepreneurs who have a lot of businesses, some, multi-million dollar businesses. And what they do is that when the idea comes, because they have communities of the house, or they have the market, they would try and do some quick scanning to see if their product will be accepted. And then they try to get people to give them assurance by reordering some of the products that they are going to produce before they even go on to produce those materials. We're also going to have live demonstration using ChatGPT. And then we're also going to look at some takeaways. And then if there are questions, I will take them. This is actually my version. As I said, the way we ran business 10, 15, or started business 10, 15 years ago will not be the same now. I am able to talk about today's own because I did one 16 years ago, almost 17 years. And then I'm still doing some now. I'm still starting new businesses. And I could see the ease at which the new ones are being created. Okay. I'm seeing that so easily. And I can also appreciate the structure or the struggle that I went through 16 years ago. So be ready for that. My name is Abel Kujo. I'm the CEO of Cabral Limited. I'm the head of research for Cap Solutions LLC. I'm a course creator. So you see, before I started my presentation, I showed you some of the products that I have done. When you visit online.mycapsolutions.com, you have a lot of my courses there. I have a whole course on AI prompt engineering for business. And so you can go there and then also buy some of the course, and you can own it permanently. Okay, so that is Cap Solutions. And as I said, I work for Cap Solutions and also Cap Royal as well. So that's a bit about myself. For the rest of it, you've attended the webinar Wednesday for a long time, so I think we know ourselves more now. So let's move straight into the next part. I felt I have to let you know the voice behind the talk for today. So straight up into action. You see, so there is this record I chanced on, and it is that most ideas fail at execution. So people start business ideas out of passion. If I stayed in a house where probably somebody was developing or making tie and dye, it's easy for me to fall into that business. If your dad was a carpenter and you were raised in that house and you used to go to the carpentry shop, it is easy, it is tempting for you to think of starting a business along that line. And we start a lot of the businesses with passion. We think if we start, it is going to solve all our problems. Sometimes a lot of people think that when you start your own company, you are going to be free forever. I've seen a lot of people also working for other people. Okay, let's say they are in there as designers, as graphic designers, and then they will say, oh, my boss gives me so much work to do and I don't even have time to breathe, so I want freedom. So because of the freedom you want to set up your own company, and then they end up saying that they don't even have time at all, because if you were working from 8 to 5, now you start your own company and you now realize that you don't even have the luxury of the time after the 5 after the 5 p.m. Now you work almost 120 hours a week. Okay, you start from 6 o'clock in the morning, and then by 10 o'clock p.m., like 10 p.m., you are still working. Do you get it? So that myth, that deception is there. People think the true way to freedom is to set up your own company. It depends. Okay, it depends. I can't guarantee that, but I can assure you that it is not it is not your way out of freedom. It is even much more of a work. You work much harder when you are working for, like, on your own. If you're an entrepreneur and you're coming up with a business idea, let's say you want to bring a business idea into fruition, you want to bring it into reality, you end up spending more time. You end up cutting off all your freedoms, especially if you don't have the required funds to start it. And you have to go through the grinding, the hustling. That is very, very difficult. It's not easy. Um, uh, when we started initially, I remember most of the monies that we have to spend, we will have to generate that before we spend. So things that should take you about 3 months to do it, you end up using about a year because you don't have the money sitting down. You don't have a well-built company for the banks to even do business with you. Those that will do business with you, they will end up enslaving you. Let's say the microfinance, the savings and loans. If you go to them, that is if you have the courage to go. If you go to them, they'll give you high rate interest, such that you will literally be working for them. So for startups, if you are working on an idea, I will not encourage you to take a loan, to start with a loan. Don't do that. If you can get it from other sources, through friends, from your savings and other stuff, please do that. Don't go for loan. You end up like your business will never get off the ground. Okay, because if you are not even making profits and you are paying 30 to 40% per annum on your interest, how are you going to and for startup, it is just an idea. That is one of the reasons why banks don't give startup businesses loans, because your business is just an idea. And those that are giving you the ideas, they also have they have ideas in their in their head though. They also have ideas, but you want them to give you the depositors money. That becomes a challenge. So most ideas fail at execution because it starts as a passion, and sometimes they don't even model it in terms of a prototype. So by the time you get to the point where you want to implement, then you realize that it is actually not going to work. Then you have to abandon it, or put it, like, freeze it and put it in the freezer. That becomes one of the main challenges. The next one is that founders wear too many hats. If you're a startup founder, you see that you wear too many hats. I remember at the beginning, because our initial company was more of a design company. I was actually doing a lot of the things. Okay, I couldn't afford a draftsman, so I was doing my own drawings. And so the time that I have to use to work on the business, I was using rather that one to work in the business. I became my own graphic designer because at some point it was becoming too expensive for me to engage a professional graphic designer. So I have to learn most of the stuff. I learned, I wore a lot of hats because I was the marketing manager of the company. I was the sales manager of the company. I was the CEO. I was the chief technical officer. I was everything in the company because it was only my idea. And so for me to take some of these hats off, I need to hire people and put those hats on them. So they will also help. And then together we can build the company. I didn't have the money. So so that was actually one of the biggest challenges. So founders wear too many hats. You also have limited time. You don't have enough time because you have spread your time so thin across all these areas. Okay, so that is where the main challenge comes. So you pretend to be the marketing manager, and you are doing that poorly and paying yourself sometimes no money. Do you get it? Instead of you hiring a marketing manager, which is actually a very difficult thing to do when you're starting a business. But that will help you. But you don't have the money. You can't. You see, you will not have you may not have enough money to hire all these professionals, let's say, and sustain them for about 3 months. And what is even the guarantee that when you keep them for 3 months, you are going to have a breakthrough out of it? So that is always a difficult thing. Okay, and it's also because the idea that we had was out of passion, not an idea that is quickly generating money. Okay, so let's take note of that. So we have limited time, we have limited money, and then we also have limited skills. Because if you are, let's say, an engineer, that is the best version of yourself. You don't have the skills to design your promotional materials. You don't even know how to do marketing. So you have to learn a lot of stuff. I remember I had to take a course in digital marketing so that I will be able to do a lot of this marketing stuff. I didn't have much knowledge about the mainstream marketing, but I was learning everything because I don't have a choice. If I don't learn it and do it, I have to actually pay people to do it for me. Okay, so things that should take me about a year to do, it took me 10 years to do all those stuff. And one thing also that we saw from the data that we surveyed was that Ghana has high business failure rates. Ghana has high business failure rates compared with with the global statistics. We saw that 75% of businesses in Ghana fail within the first 3 years. In fact, we don't have proper records of the first 1 year, okay, in Ghana. So according to GhanaBusinessNews.com, we saw that I'm saying GhanaBusiness.com because I saw a quote there from a previous minister who was in charge of business development Honorable Awar. He was in Nana Akufo-Addo's time, the Minister for Business Development. And he was quoted by GhanaBusinessNews.com that 75% of businesses fail within the first 3 years. And as I said, we don't have proper statistics on or records on business failure for the first 1 year. And you can understand. And there are a lot of businesses here in Ghana which are in coma. It is frozen. Okay. Those that are running it are also working 8 to 5. And it is only for the company is registered for opportunities. So when there is an opportunity, then they quickly go use it to tender for some projects. And then when the business has ended or the business venture has ended, they fold it up, they freeze it again and put it there. So they have all the certificates, they have all their registration processes, but it is waiting for opportunity. That is not running a business. Okay, that is setting up a company to wait for opportunity. For businesses, you have to be consistent. You have to be doing it over and over again. We also realize that 60% also fail within the first 5 years. So with the remaining 25% that will be left after the 3 years, 60% of that 25% will fail within 5 years. So you see, if you have about 100 businesses registered in Ghana, let's say today, it is likely that in the next 3 years, 75% of them will either be in coma, that is non-functional, or it will be gone, like it will be dead. And we are not so good as declaring bankruptcy. We are not so good. We think if you register a company and you are not functioning again, you just go into hiding, and that's all. Nobody will chase you for because we think it will cost us to go through the bankruptcy process. We don't actually go through the process to dissolve the business. You know, if there are a lot of businesses now that are not functional, and if you don't find time to close it up properly, you'll be having problem with GRA, because for them, as you haven't gone to close it, they still will think you are in business. Register General, if you don't renew, they think you are not. But for GRA, so long as they have you in their records, there are some penalties that they have to. So if even you don't resolve it with Registrar General, try and do that with GRA. This is just one thing that came in mind, which I want to run through. So 60% of the remaining 25% also fails within the 5 years. This is based on an Accra SME survey. Then also, is that 70% don't make it past the 5 years, according to BNFT analysis. So that one runs similar to the first one, which is 75% fail within the 3 years. It says 75% of the 70% of the businesses that are registered don't make it past the 5 years. I remember about like many years ago, I had one of my teachers who taught me in JHS standing as MP in one of the constituency around. So when I saw him, I was actually very happy, and I paid him a visit. And I said, "Hey, sir, you are going to stand as an MP?" He said, "Yeah, everything is done and everything." So he has heard that I was in, like I was doing some business. So wanted to flex more at that time. Our wings were not that. I mean, we just started about 5 years at that point. We're not that strong or stable, but we felt at least flyers there, we can pay for that. So I remember I sat in front of him. I said, "Oh, say, what can we do to help? At least flyers there, we can do to help." The first question he asked me was, "How long have you been in business?" And I said, "Oh, about 5 years." I said, "We better forget it." So we better forget it. That was what he said. He said, "Oh, you've been in business for 5 years?" I said, "Yes." "Oh, save your money, forget it." It was so funny. I laughed. I didn't understand it until recently. Then I realized that, and it was true. We weren't that very strong, and the hustling was actually too much. And he saved me that little money I was going to use to flex. Later, when I understood it, I realized that you have to go through a certain. So I met him another time and I asked him, I said, "What do you do that?" They said, "Oh, here for you to prove," I said, "For business in Ghana, for you to prove you are very strong, you have to pass through the first 7 years. Then if you don't fail, it means you will not fail." Yeah. So in fact, after we passed our first 7 years, I actually celebrated, because then I realized that I wasn't going to go down again, according to my JHS teacher, who was standing as parliamentary candidate. So looking at Ghana's statistics and that of the world's benchmark, we saw that 20% fail in 1 year. That's the global statistics that are there. Then 50% also fail, 50% fail in 5 years. So you see that Ghana is much riskier compared to the global averages. And this is what you have here. So you see that, so you realize that for Ghana, for 3 years, I mean, within the first 3 years, you're going to have 75% of the businesses that are registered failing. These are the statistics. I'm only talking about data. This is not about saying something that is to dampen your spirit. No, be strong. But this is the reality, and you have to be mindful of, or know what the reality is, and then you take it from there. So we are comparing Ghana's situation with the global situation. So you see, the global averages, the failure rate for the global average is 5 years, 50% of businesses failing. But if you check Ghana, it's 75%. So you see that if you are comparing, it is much more riskier in Ghana. It is risky and easy for businesses to fail in Ghana than in other developed countries. Okay, and for the global record, they have about 20%. Ghana, we don't have those records. And that is one of the things that I want to bring to your notice. Let me also make this point before I even move on, that it is most likely, it is very likely that if you have kids in JHS or SHS, or even in the universities, it is very, very likely that the businesses they are going to work in after school has not yet been registered. It is very, very likely. It is highly likely that the businesses your kids are going to work in have not even been registered. There are still ideas in people's head. Most businesses we are in now, apart from the traditional ones, the government agencies, the multinational private businesses that we are in, some of the businesses, if you compare your age at that time when you were in JHS, or let's say SHS, those businesses didn't exist at that time. You get it? That's why I was just throwing this brain teaser thing for you, that it is very likely if you have a kid or a child in SHS, it is very likely that the businesses they are going to work in does not exist as we speak now. And it is now going to be registered. It is now in the minds of people. It is now an idea, a burning idea or desire in somebody's mind or heart. And that is why I'm saying this to challenge you that if you are ready to take up that entrepreneurial challenge, go ahead and do that because it is easier now. I'm not saying that vacate your business because sometimes it is even very hot out there. And it's even very terrible out there. I won't tell you, I'm not the usual motivational speaker where I'll tell you, oh, start your company and all those stuff. No. It is tough out there. It is not friendly. You should be ready to go all out in the dry season, in the wet seasons and things like that. And business are cyclical. And so if you don't have that strength and tenacity, it is better you work and build your capacity. Okay, practice your entrepreneurship in other organizations. Okay, if you're a marketing manager, try like working in an organization, try and take that marketing department of your organization as your business and run it to the best of your ability and get all those experience because you'll be applying that. If your strength is marketing and you don't have and you have some ideas that you want to deploy, get the remaining skills whilst you are also working so that you can have several hats to wear when you start your entrepreneurial journey. All these are manual thoughts and guidelines. We'll soon start with the other one. One of the challenges we also saw was funding and cost efficiency. The number one failure driver is lack of affordable finance. And the reason is that banks label SMEs as high-risk businesses. High risk, so they give you high interest rates. The bigger your risk, the bigger your interest. Okay, when they see that you may not be able to pay, then because it is other people's money, they compensate for most of the failure possibilities by giving you higher interest so that they'll be able to recoup some of the money before you start messing up. Okay, so that is the reason why you see that multinational companies will go to banks and get very low interest, and then small businesses will struggle and even not get funds. That is the reason. That's one of the reasons. Because of the high stakes in SMEs. Okay, that's why you have high interest rates. And for the banks, you can't blame them. It's other people's money. Okay, and if you understand credit very well, you understand that when businesses give you loans, when you deposit your money in banks, technically you are giving them loans. You are giving the banks loan, but that is if you're looking at it technically, that is how it appears. But they wouldn't like you to see it that way. But that is the reality. That's the truth. If you deposit your money in your bank, whether current account or savings account, you are giving the banks loan because they can take your money and loan it out to somebody and get profit from it. So with savings accounts, if you keep the money there idle, they'll give you a small percentage. So and then if it is actually current accounts, they'll be giving you service charges to be paying monthly. They'll be deducting that from your account. But you are giving them loan. Let me explain why I say if you deposit money in banks, you are giving them money, you are giving them loan. Because they see it as loan, they consider your money as a credit, as you giving them money. That's why they credit your account. And then they see it as loan, so they debit the account. Okay, so when they credit your account, it is their record, not yours. It is their record. So you see that, oh, my account has been credited. Yeah, it's because they see you now as a creditor. The banks see you in their records, they see you as a creditor. You're giving them loans. So they will credit your accounts. And to them, they will record it as a debt. So that becomes, so now, when you give them loan, they consider that not as an asset, but as a liability. Okay, that may be too technical if let's say maybe it's not about business or finance area. Okay, if you're a technical person, engineer, architect, and you don't have much inside, pardon me. Okay, but that is the reality. I'm trying to break it down. So taking loans from banks to start a business, for me, I will not advise. It's a no, no, no. Because as I said, because your risk is high, they'll give you high interest. So you'll literally be working for them. And that is if you are privileged to get a loan, you'll literally be working for them, and you will never. It will be difficult for you to move unless you have, like, you're buying products which you have ready markets, and that one you can take that gamble. But even that one, you'll still be bedeviled with high interest rate, and you will have to pay that high interest rate because of the risk associated with your business. Now, short-term loans for long-term projects. So that brings in cash flow crisis. You are going to take a loan from the bank, and your idea is to fund a long-term project. You have a vision, like in the next 3 years, you are going to be A, B, C, and you're going for short-term loan that you're going to pay in 6 months. How are you going to do that? Okay, so sometimes you can also get people in there that will come in with equity. Okay, that's where I started talking about co-founders. So you can get people that will come in to help, or come in with other managerial areas or technical areas which you do not have, and then you give them portions of the organization. But it ought to be well measured, so that you don't end up, as a result of your crisis nature, you will just give out large percentage of equity because you are afraid if you don't do that, they will go away, and you end up going to your room and crying that I've given everything out. And in that case, you find yourself not giving up your best. This is one of the reasons why a lot of businesses fail. Okay. So the funding gap contributes about 60% of reasons why a lot of businesses fail. So funding and cost efficiency contribution to failures. They said that funding alone. So if we should even open the mics now and ask people the reason they haven't started their business, or the reason why they're struggling in business, they'll say funding. It's money. Okay, it's money. And before you deal with money, you must understand costs. And that will be a subject for another day. Maybe with time, we can bring other people in, or if we have that time, I can actually brush off a bit. If you don't understand costs, you can't run a business. Okay, yeah. If you don't understand costs, and I learned this the hard way later on in life. Yeah, if you don't understand costs, your cash flow, you're going to struggle. And every businesses do well because they're having cash inflows. We call revenue or turnover, or if it is sales, you have sales. Okay, but what goes directly to you? To, like, which of the cost goes directly for the delivery of your work? Okay, if I say delivery, I mean the execution. If, let's say, you are an architectural company and you have projects worth maybe 100,000 or 30,000 Ghana cedis, the cost of your administrative staff is not the cost of your sales. The cost of your sales are those that are directly into the development of the plan. So your draftsman costs and all those printing costs and all those ones, they are direct costs to that one. So you need to understand that. And then we come to the operating cost, or the operational cost. Okay, so that is where you understand the costs, but that will be a subject for another day. Today, I'm going to show you how to use AI. So it is something that you must understand costs. You must understand business very well, or else the possibility of you failing will be high. Market info and reach. So most people start their business because there's a poultry farm behind their house, and so they think selling eggs is handy, and they don't do the market research. They don't even go out to see or look out for the price of the eggs in the market and see if they can even get distribution outlets and then ship those eggs there and then get the money. They don't do a lot of research out there. As I said, they are driven by passion. I remember sometime I was in Kumasi and I was doing money transfer, and those times the person wasn't in, let's say, in a kiosk under an umbrella, and then he had somebody talking to him and say, "Hey, like, I have some money," but and she was asking the one doing the one with that, which business should she put the money in? Do you get it? So that is a wrong approach. She's saying that she has money, but which money should she put the money in? Which business should she put the money in for? Because she has the money. Yeah, so people start businesses because they have money and they think, oh, me, I like buying bags, and so if I start selling bags, people will buy. Everybody is not like you. You are one in a million. We all don't behave like you. You may think, oh, you like probably taking pictures, and so when you start selling portraits, portraits, you're going to get a lot of sales. You will not get a lot of sales because you like those things. So you see that most of the things we think we want to do are things that we have ideas about, and so we think because people come into our business and maybe pay for such services, if we do it, we will succeed. You have to do your market research well. You need to get your market info. That is very, very important. So most business launch without proper market research, and that is one of the biggest problems aside funding. Then they also have misaligned products. So you are leading to low sales and customer disinterest. Your mission doesn't align with the products that you are delivering, and so you have low sales. And because it is misaligned, your system is not even designed to push that product. That becomes a challenge. You also have weak promotion because you don't have marketing ideas. You have limited reach. The people that are coming in for a product are few, and ineffective marketing strategies. So the top 3 reasons for failures: no strategy, no research, and liquidity crunch. Okay. According to the sciencepublishinggroup.com, they listed these 3 things: that no strategy, either you have no strategy in running your business, you have no research, it is not based on any research, and then you also have liquidity challenge. Liquidity challenge means cash. You don't have money. There's cash problem. Okay. Now we also have managerial and operational gaps. I'm citing these things because I want to bring them up and then show you how you can use AI to save yourself or probably solve all these problems. Okay, but you first have to see the problems first. Then you understand the AI, and then you know how you can deploy the AI to solve some of these market research problems. I'm talking about your finance problem, your cash flow problems, your marketing problems, your sales problem, all those stuff. I'm going to demonstrate hands-on right now in ChatGPT how you can do that. Okay. But you first have to know all these challenges first. That's why I'm going through that. There is this also the managerial and operational gaps, and there is a correlation between your managerial and operational gaps and failure. So 65% lack training. This research was conducted, and they saw that 65% of people that set up businesses, they don't have formal management training. They don't know how to manage businesses. So a lot of people, they have literally no ideas about management. And it's not only about, it is very high among consulting firms, unfortunately. So as we know amongst ourselves, a civil engineer, you have a design company, and even hiring somebody to manage your business or your office for you, you may think because you'll be paying salaries, it's not needed. After all, we are only 4 people here. We are only 5 people here. Then you find yourself with snakes visiting the courts and being tossed around, or probably being chased by GRA and things like that. You need to have business management ideas. It doesn't necessarily mean go to business school. If you go, it's fine. If you can afford, it's fine. It's the best. But if you can't, take certificate courses and get that business knowledge. Is very, very important. The 65% of SME owners don't have formal management training, and they say that those without the management training, 58% of such businesses fail in 3 years. So now they are correlating the lack of management training or business training to failure. And they are saying that 65% of the people don't have business training. And because they don't have that, 58% of the businesses that fail in 3 years can be attributed to management uh, um, gaps. Okay. Then this research also indicated that those that do not have operating operations, they don't have, experience. Let's say, if I should take an architectural company, you can be an architect. If you don't understand operations, jobs that are supposed to take 1 week, your draftsman will take 1 month, and you'll be paying them. If you are a contractor and you don't have operational experience, if the masons are supposed to lay 100 blocks with 2 bags of cement, they will lay 50 with 3 bags. They will lay 50 blocks with 3 bags of cement because you don't understand the operations. You get it? So the reason a lot of real estate companies suffer is because they end up spending so much in building their house. Sometimes I look at the cost of the construction of a lot of houses, and I feel I can do that with half of the cost because I understand the construction process. I went through the basis of it, so I understand it. You get it? If I'm supervising projects, I know when to come in, where to move out, and I can track because I've been through it before. So said 68% of those with no experience in operations, they have 65% of failure. So you can see that if you don't have management training, you stand a little chance of survival than if you don't have operation experience. So I was giving example with that of let's say draftsmen, or let's architectural companies or engineering firms. You see that the draftsmen who are working for you, they also have their private projects they are doing, and they put it on a pen drive, and they'll come to your office to do your job, their job in your time for you to pay them. So you pay them for doing their work. So the moment you leave the office, now you see that the manager leaves the office, they hold control tab, they press control tab, and the job switches. The moment they hear your horn, your car horn, that hey, boss is in, or then they switch to your job. Oh, so where have you gotten to? Today you haven't gone far, Accra. They have gone very far with their private jobs, but unfortunately they haven't gone far with you. So you don't understand the operational processes of your organizations, so you end up spending more, and your business will not last. I've seen a lot of architectural companies going down because of that. They spend so much on their cost of sales. Let's say cost attributed directly to the production of their product. They spend so much on that. That is where operations management comes in. Okay. And also you having administrative management or administrative knowledge also helps you to keep your business afloat. So poor record keeping and poor cash flow, or let's say cash flow mismanagement, is equal to collapse. So managing money and proper record keeping, whether it's operations, whether it's management, all those stuff helps to keep your company alive. It's very important. Then you also have regulatory and bureaucracies. Some people also said that you have complex registration processes. I'm not sure it is so today. The licensing, yes, you may have a bit of challenge there. And then also the tax compliance. Sometimes you wish like GRA will not give you like GRA will give you some amnesty when you start your business. Sometimes you don't get it, and depending on your age too, you may have to start paying immediately, and all those ones add to the challenges that prevent a lot of businesses from actually staying afloat. Then you also mentioned about high cost and delay. High cost and delay also reduce survival. Okay, so they cited, so about 70% of the survey that they made on SMEs in Ghana, they said 70% of them are saying that they actually move out of business because of regulatory and bureaucracies. These are all sources I have quoted there, which you can verify. Some people also spoke about infrastructure and ecosystem weaknesses, electricity, road problems. Okay, you want to produce, or let's say deliver your products, or the product that you have built, and you have transportation problem, delivery challenges, dishonesty. See, so there's a whole weakness in the ecosystem. All these things help. For power outages, now it's a bit reliable, just that the cost is slightly high, but it is manageable. Unlike those days where you had a lot of challenges like power outages, which actually came up with a lot of, I mean, that collapsed a lot of businesses. So I think the 75% of the businesses that cited electricity problems were during the doomsday days. Okay. I think now it's a bit better now. Okay, great. So I can see some hands on, like I can see in the message in the chat side um, of some people saying they can't hear me. So if it is more, please let me know. Okay, and I guess my technical team will also be checking that side. Okay, so we also have higher transportation costs. If you want to do delivery, if even you are producing, let's say, pineapple juice or let's say fruit juices, and you want to, and one bottle is 25 Ghana cedis, and somebody buys it online, let's say through your e-commerce platform, and you want to deliver it to the person, the cost of the delivery will even be more than the one bottle that the person is buying. So then that also doesn't help businesses. You get it? So poor roads, you have high transportation costs. Then you also have weak support systems. Okay, you have lack of mentorship, you have lack of incubation. Systems that can also help. If you have challenges with your business, who do you go to talk? It's only you and your God. Okay, but now we can deploy artificial intelligence to help us go through some of these things or challenges. Okay, so summary. Why startup failed in Ghana? I said the first year we don't have rates for Ghana, but globally, approximately 20% of businesses fail because of liquidity and poor planning. Liquidity is cash problems. Okay, so liquidity and then poor planning. So time frame, about 3 years, 60 to 70% of businesses that are listed in Ghana, they have funding gaps, they have poor marketing, they have weak management, they have infrastructure issues. Then for Ghana, within a time frame of 5 years, you have about 60% of businesses, the challenges that they say, or the problems that make them not succeed, they say is capital, lack of capital, inefficiencies, that's operational and managerial inefficiencies, and then limited scalability. You can't scale your business. Your business is not scalable. So you end up becoming an employee of that business and you can't scale it. Okay, and you can't scale it. So sometimes that one actually gives a lot of problems. So Ghanaian startups face higher and faster failure rates than the global peers. We got to know of this. So this is something that we have seen already. So now we're talking about the AI advantage. Now, most of the things that I said, that I went through at the beginning, now with AI, I'll save myself a lot of cost. If I should do the same businesses, like if I should go through the same process again now, it shouldn't take me 1 week to take off with my knowledge in AI. With my knowledge in AI, it shouldn't take me more than 1 week from idea stage to the development of my minimum viable product. It will not take me more than 1 week. But it took me a lot of years because I wasn't having those informations, those knowledge. It wasn't outside there. It wasn't so easy for me to access them. So I struggled. So AI's advantage is the speed. So the AI speeds up research. AI speeds up with a lot of your writings. If you are into tech, AI can help you with your code processes. I've seen businesses now that are developed straight up, and with just some few processes, they have their website up. When we started, it took us about 5 years to get our website, our first website. It took us more than 5 years, because those that we saw that would help us, that they were actually bluffing, or our monies were too small, so they were doing us a favor, and they were in high demand at that point. And so you, after paying the money, you literally have to go and beg so that they will do the processes for you. But now I'll develop my website with under 30 minutes, or less, and yes, in a day, less than a day. Okay, with some of the AI tools. So speed, you can easily do your research, and we are going to do some now. And I'm only going to dedicate 15 minutes to start a real estate business from beginning to the end. I'm going to demonstrate that to you, and I'll show you the secrets. And when I finish, I'll give you the opportunity to get that AI advantage. I will wrap it up and give it to you straight up. And if you spend just a little to get equipped in that AI advantage, it will be easy for you. And you remember, before the switch over to me, Deborah, the moderator, told you about the coming event on the 5th and 6th. That's next week, Friday, and then the 6th. You remember we said that every last week of every particular month, Webinar Wednesdays with its partners will organize a workshop. So this time around, we decided to come up with that workshop that will help people deploy AI to do anything. But we also noticed that in the first week, we met Professor Jemfi, that came to also explain a lot of things about investment, and he's actually coming on board. So we've repackaged that AI advantage thing, and let's go through that. I think I'll talk more about that after my after the practice. Okay, after the actually the hands-on AI demo. Okay, so the first thing is speed. AI gives you speed. All the research, you can sit in your office and do all the research. Someone will say, oh, but that is not effective. That is not the best. That is not connected. AI knows Accra more than you. AI knows Ghana more than you. Doesn't matter your area of specialization. If you want to pick market research on AI knows Accra more than you. Haven't you wondered, if you are going to a place and you don't know the place, actually, you don't know the location, you can just order Uber. You are given the GPS location, and the driver drives you straight away to the point. The systems we have know us more than ourselves. Okay, yeah. So that one, don't like. We will deploy that, and you see. I'll show you how to use all of that. Then with AI, you also have cost reduction. So you have lower financial barriers and entry. So if I have to hire people and give them equity in my business, let's say I'm getting a management person to give me marketing ideas, management ideas, and I'm a technical person, I'll rather learn prompt engineering and create AI agents that will give me world-class marketing strategies or marketing advice. And it will save you a lot of costs, because if you are to arrange or schedule a meeting with a marketing expert, at least you will take transport to that person's office, and you pay for the time, you pay for the professional time. So all those cost barriers will be removed with the use of AI. You also have 24/7 support. Until you are sleeping, AI is not asleep on your side. It doesn't sleep. I was tempted to say it doesn't slumber nor sleep. I was tempted to say that. It's 24/7 support. It provides constant brainstorming and feedback. And the whole secret to this AI advantage is what is called prompt engineering. It's called prompt engineering. So prompt engineering will actually unlock AI's full power to you. AI doesn't have AI. If you don't have an opinion, AI will give you one. But you have to have an opinion, or else AI will give you a generic opinion. which may not help you. Somebody will say, oh, so I had access to ChatGPT or DeepSeek or Grok or Cloud, like Claude, Anthropic's Claude, or Llama or Meta AI or something. And I did my best, and the response I got didn't work. You didn't know how to ask the questions. You thought you thought everything the system understands is question and answers. No, 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 no. There's something we call modes of prompting. The modes are the various buttons behind the software, behind ChatGPT, which you can trigger. But we trigger those modes with certain phrases. So you should know how to engineer the prompts. So there's something we call prompt engineering. Prompt engineering is a skill. It's an art. It's a skill. It's also an art. It's a skill by which you can ask the AI to smart questions in a way that will give you the best answers that you require. Okay, that's prompt engineering. I'll be demonstrating that for you. So from idea to startup concept, AI will help you solve real problems. Okay, and not only say you are following your passion. You can also use it for brainstorming, and it will give you several perspectives of the same ideas which you want. Okay, if you want to check information about Ghana, it can give you several perspectives, so you can make a very good decision on that. So AI can help you in or it can work as your brainstorming partner. It can also help refine your ideas fast. If I should get 5, 10 advisors, or let's say 3 advisors in a room, experts, they'll be giving me different perspectives of the business I want to venture into. ChatGPT can give you more than 3 expert advice. It is how you actually work, or like how you instruct it to work. So you can use ChatGPT as your brainstorming partner. Then you can also use that to refine your ideas fast, so that if the ideas are failing, you quickly resolve it before you move out. It's very, very important. So so you can use AI to refine your insights and then feedbacks. AI can help you do your market research. You can check industry trend. You can summarize market trend instantly. All the research work that you have to go to town and struggle with all those kind of stuff, AI will do all that market research for you. And even the newly introduced agentic model that was introduced last month is even fantastic. That will do about I don't know how to put it, 8 months research under 30 minutes. It can also give you a competitor analysis. It can do your competitor analysis for you, where it can identify key players that are offering the same businesses that you. It can do all that within a twinkle of an eye. You can also identify gaps. AI can help you in your market research to identify or highlight opportunities in the market for you. So that is one of the things that you can also look at. It can also profile your customer, where you can know all this kind of stuff. It can also help you build a lean, minimum viable product, where you can focus on the core features only. Okay, if you are into content creation, you'll be able to draft. It can draft copy for you and design some of these things also for you very easily. If you are into development, it can generate, software development. It can also generate code snipers for you easily. It can also simulate feedback for you. So speed plus perfection, that's what AI will give to you. Not that it will speed up and fail, but it is speeding up and still giving you perfect information and all perfect stuff. So as I said, the key thing you need is prompt engineering. And this time around, what we are offering for you on the 6th is not the basics, so it's not the fundamentals, so it is actually to the professional level. But these are some basic stuff which, as somebody who is attending our webinar, we still can give you something light, okay, like something to go home with. There are some rules and conditions which you need to associate with your prompt. It ought to be clear, it ought to be specific. Detailed prompts yield better outputs. In prompt engineering, we call that priming. You also have to assign role properly, and that one there are several attributes. We call that role play mode. that is part of your, that is actually part of your prompt engineering techniques, okay? And it's also part of the modes uh, which are at the back end, which actually helps the AI to function in a certain way. There's also a few shots issues. We call them 0 shots, 1 shot, or few shots. That also help you to improve your stuff. There's also what we call iteration that can help you improve prompts based on the responses you are getting. So these are all tools that we can show you into details. So the AI becomes your founder superpower. So it means that with good prompts, ChatGPT can become your researcher, it can become your copywriter, it can become your strategist, it can test your products for you. Okay. And that is what we'll be teaching you. So you see that you have AI that is turning you into a Superman, and you'll be able to do all your market research. You can get all your information, and all you need is your time to process them. You can be a good copywriter, and it can also help you with strategies. So if you are looking at some of these things as case studies, it can give you, as we said, rapid research, where the founders can use GPT to do weeks of research in minutes. As a solopreneur, you can do a solo launch where you can launch your MVP without coding team if you're a developer. If you want to also go and pitch your products with your, venture capitalists, what you can do, or let's say fund managers, the AI tool can do all these things for you. Now I have to move into the live demo now. And then we will pick up actually one, we will pick up an industry, and then we will, okay, then we'll go through it from beginning to the end. I'm told I have to show the ChatGPT for you. Because of time, I wouldn't be able to talk a lot about this tool, but this is the system or the machine which we use in prompt engineering. And so we'll be going through all of that shortly. So get ready for that. What I'm doing here is that I'm going to pick a project we did in my course, which I have on CAP Solutions. Okay, I have a course on CAP Solutions. And we went through the setting up of a business, okay? And that was a practical application. So what we did was we developed the business model. We also did market research and analysis. We did market strategy creation. We created market strategy for the business that we are going to do. And wherever I get to in the next 10 minutes, I'll pause. So I'll give you a chance to talk. And we'll do more of that when we meet in our, in the main program, okay? And then if you want to build your team and talents and manage them, there are tools that can also help you. I think in the chat, you could see some links there. Yeah, you can see the links there, which you can copy. If you click right now, it will take you from the meeting. So you can copy it down and then enroll in that 2-day workshop. As we said, there's going to be the first part that is going to be understanding investment and risk. And Professor Emmanuel Jemfi of Gimpa Business School, who 3 weeks ago came in and delivered the part on the finance part and the investment. He's going to be there for a whole day session. And he's not only coming alone, he's coming with his friends from SIC brokerage, where they are brokers, investment brokers, and you can have that opportunity to talk to them live. Okay, so take note of that, fill the form and come. And what we are giving you something that will actually change your life forever. Anybody who learns prompt engineering gets their life transformed automatically in every aspect. Anyway, so let's go through some of the things that I will try to do within this short time. I'll show you with a business that we are going to set up how to raise funds and investor communication. AI can do all these things for you. Then also legal and regulatory compliance, customer retention and satisfaction, how to retain your customers and how to satisfy them, how to scale and grow your strategies. That's the number 10. Then number 11, technology and digital tools that you can use for that business that you're setting up. Then also networking and partnerships, how you can network and also get partners or create partnerships for that side. How do you manage crisis and risk mitigation? We are going to use the AI tool to do that. Then also vision and mission statement development. So this one, I talked extensively about that in my AI course, which you can find on CAP Solutions. But our meeting on the 6th, for those who are coming for the workshop, you can see that it is there. I mean, it is visible, it's there, and you can actually go through that. In fact, we are going to go through that. We are going to go through businesses, and prompt engineering cuts across. If you are in academia, if you know prompt engineering, it's the same thing. It's a universal language. It's a universal instruction that one can give to an AI tool. Okay, so having shown you what we are going to do, let me go back to the ChatGPT, and then we'll start work right away. Okay, I hope you can see my screen. If you can see my screen, and you are ready for me, let's get the job done. So if you want to start a new chat, all you do is just click on new chat, and then that is it. So I'll be using, let's say, a real estate company. Okay, I'll be using a real estate company. You will be so you can just follow that process. If you have the prompt, it can help you do or set it up exactly as we have gone through. So you can tailor make it to your business. Okay, and this is something that I only share with my close team. Okay, so those
close businessmen.
Those who come for my events, they get these tools, or those who buy my courses, they get these tools. But I'm sharing them with you straight up today. So we are actually developing. I want to. Okay, so let's say I want to start a real estate business. Okay, but I want to start a real estate business or company that is offering smart, affordable housing solutions in Accra. And I want to see if I could identify potential revenue streams also in my business when I set it up. What can I like? I want to know what I can get straight up from my business from beginning to the end. So I think our 10 minutes can start now. So go straight up. I place in my first prompt. I said, help me analyze and refine my business model for a real estate startup offering smart, affordable housing solutions in Accra, Ghana. Could you identify potential revenue streams? Example, property sales, rentals, or partnership. Target customer segment. Example, millennial, first-time buyers, and cost structures. Additionally, suggest innovative approaches to enhance the value proposition in this market. And there are some key things I have placed in this prompt. This is not your normal question and answer prompt. This prompt or this instruction is loaded. It's actually very pregnant. You can see I'm saying it should analyze and refine my business model. And I've told it what I want to do. I'm going to a real estate startup. In fact, it's a real estate startup which is offering smart, affordable housing solution in Accra, Ghana. If it were to be a normal prompt engineering class, I would have actually broken every word and its function. So could you identify potential revenue streams? In other words, after setting up my company and building my houses, I want to look at areas within the business I've created which can fetch me money. I also want to get to know the people in Accra that I can easily sell my products to. All these things, you can search it up from the business. I mean, using AI before you start. So now the good thing is that they have even come up with the GPT-5, which has minimal hallucinations. You see, first with the 3.5 and the 3.0, there were a lot of guesswork, and sometimes, I mean, we call that hallucination. It gives us feedback and responses which we actually don't really, I mean, feel good with. Do you get it? Aha. So now it has started giving me, in fact, it's thinking, it has started giving me uh, answers, but it is taking some time to think through that. Whilst it does that, the next thing after developing our business model will be to do a market research and analysis. Do you know what I would have done? I would have engaged researchers, people to go around in Accra and interview some people, get data, and then they'll come and analyze the data so that for the business which I'm coming up with, I want to know the current trends. I mean, in the housing market, I want to know the customer preference for sustainability living spaces. I want to know strategies that are used by my competitors in the affordable housing segment. And I want to get suggestions for differentiating my offering. Okay, what I'm doing, how different am I going to be? That will be the second thing I'll do after defining my business model. But I think our food is prepared. So let's move straight up into it. He said, got it. He said, here is a straight shooting business model you can act on. So you see, initially I had just a business idea, but as I threw it to it, and with the way I carved out my prompt, it was so rich, such that it gave me very good responses. Look at the areas that it looked at. It says that here's a straight shooting business model you can act on for a smart, affordable housing startup in Accra. I will ground a few key realities in Ghana specific data, then lay out revenue segments, that's segmentation, costs, and ways you can ways to make your value proposition unmistakably better than just another developer. Wow. So now look at it. It said market realities you must design around. It's saying that demand is massive but price sensitive. Said that Ghana national housing deficit is commonly cited around 1.8 units. The gap you are addressing, but only if you price, I mean, if your price point and financing match actual income. It's also saying that urbanization keeps funneling people into Accra. So this is also another reality. Another reality is the financing costs are easing but still high. It's telling you that another reality, as or before you even think of going to this business, is digital rails are strong. So mobile money is deeply embedded and trusted. You can design your payments, and there are also key stuff which you can also look at. I said for a smart and flashy gadget, it's telling you that even UCG is rolling out smart prepaid businesses and other smart stuff around which you can put in. It's saying that compliance matters. It said build to Ghana building code and leverage green standard. Okay, so that is the market realities you might design around. It's also, we also have the target market. Say that look at salary first-time buyers, look at young families and millennials, look at formal income renters, look at diaspora buyers, look at B2B B2B or institutions. Said value proposition, what you must promise and deliver. These are all research information. What about revenue? Me, I'm interested here. Say that unit sales off plan and completed. You can sell the core structure, and there are more things that you can do. Said rent to own. You can go for build to rent. You can also go for financing originations, where fees from partner banks, fintechs for mortgages, or rent to own administrators, they can actually give you the funding ahead. You build and then they pick it up. So recurring ancillaries, look, a whole lot of things. The cost structure, look, a whole lot. The information is so rich. This is giving me an idea, deeper insight into what I want to do. You see, it is not just about the answer ChatGPT can give to you. It is about how to prompt it to get the responses that I want. It is giving me so many things which I got from just a simple prompt. And that is what you have to be trained on to be able to get all these things. He said, what are the risk and mitigation? He said, this one, it's not going to sugarcoat anything. It knows Ghana, it knows Accra. Okay, so it is saying that it's not going to sugarcoat anything. It's telling you the reality of what is in Accra. It said Accra, you have land. It said you are going to have serious difficulty with land disputes, permit delays, and infrastructure gap. You're going to have cost spike. All these things are there. Okay, so that's about my business. Now I have gotten to know where or which areas I can concentrate on. Now, what would be my next point? I want to do the market research before I go. But you see, before that, I would have started my business with this passion because I'm a construction practitioner. I'll say, oh, I have greater ideas in construction. I want to go into real estate. No. You need to understand the market. So now I have brought in another prompt that is going to help me with my market research. So look at how I'm prompting this one. And these ones are well prompted, well engineered. These prompts are well engineered. So let me read that one. I said, I want to conduct market research for my real estate startup. And here you can put your business there. Focus on smart, affordable homes. Can you outline current trends in the housing market, customer preferences for sustainable living spaces, and strategies used by competitors in the affordable housing segment? Please include suggestions for differentiating our offer. There are people in the market already, but give me things that will differentiate mine, okay, so that people can come into my site. And this is what, so now I've just sent the information. Under 5 minutes, I have gotten a clear idea about my business. My business model is there. I have an execution plan for the first 30 days, what I should look out for, what I should do. They are all there. Okay. Some people will be at the business model stage for more than a year and they'll still not get anything. Now, within this short time, look at what ChatGPT has done. It has given me, it has done the market research for me. So here is an unfiltered breakdown you asked for. No fluff, just insight, grounded in Ghana's market and how to stand out. It's a current market trend. It said everybody is trying to do smart homes. And that is the moving mainstream. It said developers increasingly integrate IoT, automated securities, and solar into homes. Properties with smart tech command 8 to 12% price premium, whilst delivering 15 to 20% energy savings. And these are all systems that it is talking. And it's also telling you some of your competitors. It says that there's also growing demand for sustainable, affordable housing, mixed-use development, deep housing deficit, and delivering gap. These things are also helping. And I mean, it's also going to help you. It said customer preferences and sustainable living. And look, competitor strategies in affordable housing. So you can go for modular or prefabricated buildings. Okay, everybody is going for brick block. You can come in with some kind of differentiating techniques. It's saying that mixed use, gated estate, and flexible payment, innovative. But you see, with my business model, if I had given it more info, it would have even focused on it greatly for me. But this is a bit general, though it is specific to the real estate business. So there are a lot of things. How to crash all these things out. He said, so they are here. So many of them. Then now, after doing my market research, I want to have a marketing strategy. Okay. So that I will have a strategic plan on how to go out on the market. So as an AI expert or prompt engineering expert, I'll put in this prompt and say, help me develop a marketing strategy for my real estate startup, specializing in smart, affordable homes. Suggest online and offline marketing channels, example, social media, open houses, content ideas to educate potential buyers, and cost-effective tactics to drive customer engagement and brand awareness. I'm just using AI. I'm in my room, 15 minutes. Look at where I've got into. It is just going to give me all this information. And it didn't even take 1 minute. Look at the thing that you're saying. So that, oh, the marketing channel, deploy online. You can go social media. Don't go and it is literally trying to advise me that I should get my own media house and not go for the traditional media for starters. so that you can use TikTok, you can deploy Instagram, you can deploy LinkedIn, Facebook, WhatsApp, and get all these things. Get a website and a landing page. Use Google Business Profile. Oh, look, wonderful stuff. Email and WhatsApp automation. These are all wonderful stuff so that you can focus on a dashboard. Of course, if you're using Facebook, you will to do more of such stuff. And then offline, then content, ideas, education, trust. Look, wonderful, great stuff. Now, after doing all this, I don't know, but let me just do, because of time, I can't do I can't go through all the 15 strategies which I wanted to go through. But let me just do this last one. Aside the positioning and the messaging tips, I'm saying that now in the next one, I want to create a financial plan for my real estate startup. I have to have a financial plan. Okay. Ordinarily, you should engage a finance person to help do your cash flow analysis and all those stuff. I can't afford it. So now AI is going to be my smart partner. So look at what I'm trying to like. So look what I'm going to deploy. I have engineered this prompt to give me this free advice. Look at what I'm saying. I'm saying, assist me in creating a financial plan for my real estate startup. Provide projections for revenue from property sales or rentals. And then also expenses to include construction and marketing. And let me know about profitability for the next year. Include strategies to manage cash flow, especially during periods of fluctuating demand. These are wonderful stuff which I want to do. I wanted to create a financial plan for me so that if even I'm developing my business plan, I'll be able to strategically put that into it. It didn't even blink. It didn't even take 5 seconds. And look at the things that it's doing. It is first assuming some things. If I had given it enough information, the assumption would be much more tailored to my work. But even look at that. It is telling me that let us build a straightforward financial plan for your smart, affordable housing startup in Accra. Said I'll lay out projections for revenue, expenses, profitability, then give cash flow management strategies. So you don't get caught in the liquidity trap most Ghanaian developers face. Yes, it's true. People start their businesses and then they are locked up. They don't have money. And then you see that the housing is constructed, or the buildings are now constructed at a pace of snail because they didn't plan very well. So he said it's going to do some assumptions first. The project size, the selling price, the rental options available to you. These are all things that is going to look out for. And it's also considering affordable housing. And it's saying that for the project size, phase one, you can build 20 units or 20 housing units, a mix of 2 and 3 bedroom, okay, smart affordable homes. Then the selling price averagely now is between 400,000 Ghana cedis, which is about 27,000 US dollars. So it said lower than a luxury and then higher than government subsidized. So it means that if you are comparing these rates with Saglame housing project that is actually subsidized by the government, our affordable price will be slightly higher than that, but it is far lower than the luxury houses that are being sold out there. $27,000. If it's affordable housing you want to go into with 400,000, you'll be able to build a 2-bedroom house and still remain profitable. If you are going for rental option, it has done the market research, look through all the data around, and it's suggesting some of these things for you. You don't need to even go roam about, go and look out for real estate company A, look at their prices, go company to company and look at pricing. No. It has done all for you. That's the power of AI. And these are not guesswork. It has come through online and everywhere, and it has given me this report. It says that revenue projections for year one, expenses projection for year one. Say revenue, I have to be looking at property sales. How many can you build in the first year? What are the rates? Then what is going to be your annual revenue? Okay. Now the rental, the facility management fees, it has gotten all of that. And it's saying that I'll need about 5.9 million Ghana cedis. 5 million Ghana cedis, which is not even up to $500,000. So it means with about $500,000, I can start this business. Okay, but somebody will also have a $1.5 million and go and buy a house in Trisako. this system, this model is telling me that with about $1 million, I can start this business and also go into that affordable housing. There are a lot of strategies that it can adopt. Look at after having our revenue projection, the AI is also helping us come up with our expense projection. And as I'm saying, this is a business which I thought of as real estate business. It's not a business I want to go in, but I just took it at random. I could have used your business that you want to pursue, but I don't want to do that. I want to show you the capability of the AI tool and then show you how you can do these things yourself in your room. Okay, so that the business that you are playing around with like a hobby, you can bring life to it. As I said earlier, the businesses that your children will be working in, most of them are not yet developed. And some of the existing buildings, existing businesses that are around now are not going to be available in the next 3-5 years. So these are all some of the things that you can look at. So your expenses projection, your profitability, your cash flow management strategies, all these things are here. Your risk that you have to watch out. He said that sales delay. So mitigate. So you mitigate this with pre-sale waitlist and rent to own schemes and other things. Look, all these things. I have about 15 core points that every business can go through. Let's say for the real estate business, which we were working on right now, where we've got into the financial planning, we were going to talk about the fundraising and investor communication, how we can put our model together and reach out to investors, how we're also going to build team and talent management. We're also going to talk about that. We're also going to do something about product development strategies and also talk about legal and regulatory compliance. We're also going to talk about customer retention and satisfaction, and how we can scale and grow the strategies, technologies and digital tools to use. We're also going to talk about networking and partnership. All these things are something that you can plan ahead and prepare before you start. We would have also spoken about crisis management and risk mitigations, and also about the vision and mission statement development, so that you will know that you have gone through everything that you need. You would have actually developed and built yourself up very well to start your business. Unfortunately, I would not be able to go through all this. I had to do it up to this point for you to know the various capabilities of the AI tool, which are available to us, which we can also deploy. So back to my slide, I was only able to refine the idea, do some research with our competitors. We were also able to generate, let's say, the minimum viable product. We were going to do the creating of a pitch, but we couldn't do that for our investors who will be bringing us funds, and even develop documentations for that. So the next step, what will you be doing? If you master how to use this prompt engineering tool, what you'll be doing will be that you can try out your idea this week with AI. But unfortunately, we couldn't go through any prompt engineering technique. I promise you, on that day, on the 6th, I will be there in person. I have done this thing, since 2022 when ChatGPT came. Okay, I think I started going commercial on this from 2023 in February. We did our first training at GHIE with our partners, IET, and it was actually a success. When ChatGPT 3.5 was released in 2022 November, we started in February immediately, and people trooped in, and it was a success. So it's better late than never. If you don't have this exploratory tool, please get it, and let's help you to help yourself, so that your business will not go down, your business will stay, and our children will have work to do in yours. So the remaining prompts, which I was going to try my hands on in you establishing your business, when you register and you enroll and you come, I'll package that one. I'll give that to you. I'll also give you a free prompt guide, which I give to everybody that attend my prompt engineering workshop. I'll give that to you. You can use it to do anything. But most importantly, I'll show you how to build this prompt yourself. That will help you balance AI with human judgment. So my closing message to you is that if you are the garage startup, if I say garage startup, those who are developing their companies in their car boot or in their garages, you have an AI powerhouse that can stand by you or stand by your side, and that will actually be able to help you from an idea to impact that has never been shorter than we have now. When you have this power, what will you build? And so look at that. Look at the value that if you will pay for this workshop, that is going to cost you an investment. This is not money you are throwing out, but these are investments. And if we should have Prof in a segment, like let's say in a workshop, not 1 hour workshop, but a whole day workshop, and he's delivering on investment and risk, showing you how to put in a lot of your funds in the money market. You can bet the amount of money you'll be paying for that one. When he meets investors and he's giving them that knowledge, you can't register with cedis. It will have to be in dollars, and the minimum you'll be paying will be about $2,000 or $3,000. But we are going to get him with his team or with his friends from SIC brokerage, and they're going to show you how to save the money. You know, in our last meeting, when we were talking, I asked him at the back end that how long will it take me to double my money if, let's say, I have about 100,000 Ghana cedis as money that I have. How long will it take me on the money market to double that amount? And there was very interesting things he shared with me on areas that can even let me double my money in less than no time. It's not that quick money that they will say, put it here and it will give you that. No. These are the standard money markets, and he's going to show you all those stuff. So we are adding his own for the day one. And on the day two, you'll be meeting me personally and my team on the prompt engineering class. That is also going to take the whole day. And I can bet you by the time we finish, you are going to be better than you came in, and your life is going to change permanently. You can use it for your academic works, you can use it for normal business, you can use it for your personal management, and there are more tools I'm going to show, because within the past 2 months, the things that OpenAI has released into the ChatGPT is so amazing. And last week alone, when I did a training in Takoradi, the tools that I spoke about, I saw that those that have even come from my prompt engineering class should even come for top up. And now when they enroll, they are going to get this and the business or the investment and risk strategies at just one course. So thank you so much for your time. At this point, we'll give you the chance for you to ask some questions. And if you have some questions and you want to put some of them in the we will be able to help you. And there's also one thing, those who are asking for the video and all those stuff, there is a Telegram page for the webinar Wednesday, which you have to be part. I think the link has been placed in the chat. If you click on that, we will start posting all the videos and the slides and everything in there. That is a small community which we are actually building, and we will soon be deploying AI bots in there that can assist you with everything that you need. So I'm so glad that you came and you have stayed on up to this point. When we started, we were not even up to this number, but you have stayed on up to this point. I will take that time to answer some few questions if you have, so that we'll be able to yeah, somebody's asking whether the thing that I was talking about. Okay, so there are several prompt engineering stuff in my like on the online.mycapsolutions.com. What I was doing now is part of the whole complete thing is in the prompt engineering class for the business. Okay, so there's one for that. Those that want to come for the event, that one you'll be coming, we'll do it face to face. You'll see me. We'll give you the prompt guide and we'll be able to go. So whichever way, if you want to go for the Cap Solutions, we have it there. It covers everything. And those that are coming or staying up face to face, you're going to meet me. You're going to meet Prof and his team. And in fact, after Prof's presentation, a lot of people were calling me. They were asking me, about how do we get Prof Jenfi's number? It's difficult to get him. At some point, I know if I should put a number, his phone number across, people will actually actually try to get a lot of information, and he with his busy schedule, he will not be able to get that. So to this Friday, not this Friday, but the next week Friday, which is on the 5th, you are going to meet him face to face. You see the Prof. JP we'll be talking about. He's actually a professor of finance at GIMPA Business School, one of the highly respected professors there in finance and investment. You'll be meeting him there, and he's coming there for the love for the platform that I have created. He's somebody that that it was even difficult for me to approach, but he was much more friendlier than I thought when I approached him. And he's willing to share his day with me. And look, you can't afford to miss this workshop. So we will say the link is here. You can copy the link, fill the form. After last week's meeting, we got more than 10 people filling immediately. As at this point, we realized that we've had about 25 people already filling the form and registering. The room that we have gone for at Kofi Annan ICT Center will only take 50. So it will be better if you register early, because beyond the 50, we can't take any longer. And already we have more than 20, I think, between 20 and 25 people registered for last week. So please, you have to register early. And when you register, somebody from our office will reach out to you. You make your payment. We get all those things, like we settle all those stuff. And then on the 5th, which is Friday, and then on the 6th, the whole day, we'll be there to have fun. Thank you so much. If you have some questions, I will take it. I'll take your question. Okay, so I'm going through some of the questions there. It says that can AI create websites, or I will show you how to create one, or you show me how to create one? Oh, it is easy. I can show you how to create one. Or when we meet, I'll show you how to create one. Don't worry. I'll show you how to create. You won't sweat. You won't sweat. If you develop one in less than 15 minutes, we'll change the AI tool. We have AI tool. I can show you AI tools which you can use to get your website online in less than 15 minutes. You let me be a bit charitable. You let me give you 30 minutes. I just want to be charitable with that. So let me give you, let's say, 30 minutes. Yeah. I'll show you those tools, and that can be your business. You know me already. I don't really care. For me, there are people that call me and tell me that, Abel, you are giving all this knowledge and information out there. It's not fair. And I said, it is fair when you got it, but when other people are going to get it, it's not fair. We are going to give it to everybody. Ghana needs to grow beyond this. If you look at the development that the world has got into, we are far behind. We need more of this information out there so we can create businesses. If you're in the AEC industry, I want to give you the tools that will make you more profitable so you can hire more people. You get it? So for me, it is a selfless thing that I'm doing. If we get a number that comes for the training, we deliver the training. If what we are going to teach them is going to make them $1 million in 1 year, I don't care. Make your money, and let that be your advantage. Okay, let that be your advantage for being an early adopter of the technology. Okay, so for me, that's it. Somebody is saying, can all AI be able to generate this report, or there are specific ones? Okay, so it depends on the report. All the AI tools can generate for you, but what we are going to show you is actually ChatGPT, and that is for me the best in the market so far. But others may have their own opinion. Grok will say that 3.5 is faster, but I mean, and can be compared to 4.5. The moment they release that one, OpenAI released the GPT-5, and they have made it agentic. That means all the things that you want to do, prompt engineering can do it once and deliver the results. So let me show you one of the things in the simplest form, what the agent can do for you. If, let's say, I want to marry in, let's say, Takoradi or Kumasi, and I'm not in Kumasi, I'm in Accra, and I'm going to marry around, let's say, tech area, I can engage events. So I can give a prompt to ChatGPT or the agentic side and tell it that I'm organizing a marriage ceremony. These are my friends I want to invite. Organize the event, get me event organizers, hire the venue, do all these things, write letters to those I'm inviting, and when you are done, give me the report of their responses. It will do all that, design the invitation card, look for go online, look for event organizers in Kumasi, engage them, pay for it. If I give it my credit card details, it will do that. My debit card details, it will pay for all those stuff and then report back to me of job done. That is the tax of an agent. On that day, I'm going to show you agentic prompting, how you can use agents to prompt very well.